Side Radio. We are back. Now, this is the last Monday of the month, and I thought it was very fitting, especially since your man's just finished seeing that fucking good-ass movie, probably the best movie this year, Black Panther. I was like, yo, for Black History, I gotta rep my set real fast, get my whole Black Panther gear together, and let niggas know what time it is. But we're gonna get into all that in a second. I got two very talented gentlemen next to me, and we're going to get into their music, we're going to get into their artistry, we're going to get into their brand, everything. Right now, I got my man, Lusive, to my right, and to my far right, man I just met, but I have a good vibe of, my nigga Chosen.
Gang.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Doing good, we're doing good. What's good, world? Chillin'.
Alright, so, y'all know me. I'm out in these streets heavy, so I always like to give niggas a little recap. So, I'm not really 100% sure which month it was. Actually, no. I know exactly which month it was. I think it was August. Once again, shout out to Zeke J. He does great things with the Art Fest. I had the pleasure of doing, I was judging one of the competitions, and I'm very repetitive because unfortunately, a lot of people don't get it, and then, you got new people, you have to reiterate this. It's a competition, yes, but it's not always who wins, it's just always how you carry yourself. Whether you win or lose, you want to make sure that you're networking, you're finding out the who's who in the building, you're getting your music out there, you're getting your company, your brand, your name out there, so people can fuck with you later on. I said that shit and I slid off. I went to go get some hamburgers or some shit. I bumped into this tall motherfucker, mad cool and shit. Was like, yo, blah, 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 let's chop it up. It's tall music, whatever, blah, blah. I was like, alright, bet, cool. So, put on a very dope performance. Did you win that one?
I think, I didn't win that one. I didn't stay after.
Yeah, that's why. I was telling you, I was like, I think you're a shoo-in. But if you have to make moves, then, I respect and I understand. But the fact that he made his presence felt towards me is what mattered most, and that's exactly what I've been saying. People, if you're an artist and you're out here and you're trying to move in these streets, especially in these New York City streets, because I don't know how it is in other cities, but it's different in this motherfucking state. When you're moving around, you want to make sure you find out who's who. You want to get as much fans as you can, but sometimes you need to kind of focus and hone in on, maybe I should talk to this person because this person owns a show. Or maybe I should talk to this person because this nigga does videography and I need to do videos for this next mixtape I'm doing. Finding out who's who and start networking, start getting your name out there, that's what this shit is all about. So I was definitely pleased with the way he carried himself. The vibe was good. He was mad laid back, mad chill, mad cool. And then I saw his performance, and I was like, oh, nah, this nigga got talent. Like, this nigga's definitely one of those people we might have to deliberate about later on about if he wins this shit or not. But if you don't stay to the whole thing, then you kind of eliminate yourself. But, but if you got shit to do, then I understand it. Some niggas just want to get in, perform, make moves, network, and then leave. Sometimes you don't have to, like I said. But that brings us here. So, Lusive, man, you've been working.
Yeah, man. Thank you, first of all, for allowing me to have this opportunity. It's crazy that you said that story, because then I was remembering, like, yo, that was a while back. It was like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I don't forget shit.
But you were a man of your word, because you was like, yo, hit me up. I do have a radio station. It wasn't on at the time, right? But,
yeah, we took a little sabbatical.
Yeah. So, I believe in timing and everything. So, I think everything's perfect timing. So, like, this is perfect. So, it's good. How's everything, man?
Listen, man, I'm fresh off of Black Panther, so I'm just on some...
I seen that too.
I'm on some military shit. Like, all right, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, these fucking shades are dark as shit. I can't see shit. I don't know how motherfuckers do it. I think only niggas who pull this shit off is Stevie Wonder. That nigga don't got a choice. So, anyway.
Wow.
It is what it is. I'm sorry. Like, tell that nigga come see me. I'm fucked up.
That's the drop. I got that the drop.
Yo, he got mad drop. But I feel like everything aligns itself properly because you've been, like I said, working, but you definitely got some heat on the way. So
yeah. So I recently this year and past, like last year actually, I dropped a single called Regulate, and that's been doing well for me. Shout out to MA, one of my in-house producers that produced that for me. Right now it's like at 20,000 plays on SoundCloud. Nice. It's just genuinely, and I'm an artist that actually interacts with the fans that I have and people, as you know, as you said, So I've been building off of that, like just being very interactive, and that song has been doing great, which led me into what I'm about to release Wednesday, which is a mixtape called Frxxdom. And that represents pretty much my brand, freelance. I had something for you. I left it in the car, but I'm going to you later.
Okay, sounds good. Cool.
Yeah. It represents my brand, which is pretty much one, freeing your mind. You know, and the days that we live in now is very like restrictions against like how you should dress or how you should think. Pretty much more or less how you should think. And I express creative freedom throughout my whole camp, like with all my boys and my producers. So like we live out the brand freelance, and we do more than one thing. Everybody, you know, like he's a visual artist, but also he helps me out like on the road as a manager. And he's an artist, and we also like get in and create and all that with beats chosen over here. Am I right? And I got a couple producers that produce this mixtape, so I keep everything in house and just try to run my machine, you know, as an independent artist.
That's what's up. Now, earlier with your response just now, you were saying you're very hands-on when it comes to engaging with your audience and your crowd. And that throws me to a video I saw of you where you happened to be in Atlanta, and you was not only just funking up the stage, I forgot the name of the venue, but it was a venue where you had like a white couch behind you. And this was years ago. Nigga, I told you I do my history. So you was in that area, and then you said, fuck this stage. You went out into the whole fucking crowd, the whole walkway and shit. I'm like, that's real showmanship. Right. So, first of all, I just commend that type of showmanship and that type of level of, I guess, performance ability.
Thank you.
Was that something that you had to kind of work on, or was that just something that just came natural to you? Like you just wanted to be as close to the fans and as memorable as possible? Was this something that you had to like gradually break out of your shell and start like, okay, next performance I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that?
Right. Well, I've been like performing since I was about like 5, 6 years old. I played violin and piano, and also I've been like just stimulating Michael Jackson my whole life. That's one of my main role models. And from a great guy like that, being an entertainer, he's crowd interaction, and then he can just stand there and interact.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like I guess practicing and doing that and learning how to become a performer got me like the comfortability level to be able to perform. Because I just love to entertain. Period. Point blank.
That's what's up.
But learning how to be crowd interactive, I learned over the years of performing. I was in a group when I was 14 years old called Lusive, and that was when I made music and performed while I was at that stage of my career. And I got a lot of performances in the underground scene, like a lot of the underground promoters that we have now. I watched them grow and start. Even like, I don't know, you probably know Scott Morris. Shout out to Scott Morris, more gets more value. So I watched them grow, and they've always been able to like have me as a go-to artist if they needed to perform. I would come out and show.
No shit. I saw that performance where you brought out G Herbo. That shit was dope. Nigga, listen, man. I was out there. Fucking eyes were strained last night just listening, watching all this shit. Like, damn, this nigga got mad content. The fuck. Yo, I remember Deuce Icons. That shit was dope, man. I think the best one, or at least the one that sticks out to my mind right now, was the joint, I think, Do For Love.
Yeah, that was dope. Music like that has always been my style, like to do. I've always wanted to stress putting good content into music, so Tupac I'm a fan of too, so I was like, sample that and do that, and that was like a little good breakthrough for my career at that time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, everything's a learning stepping stone.
Okay, now, you said you were in a group. Now, the people that you run with now, you wouldn't necessarily call this a group, per se.
I would say we're a team.
Nigga, that's my shit.
Oh, yeah. See, he gonna give me a mouth. Yo, prepare for the underground. Nah.
Nigga, let's go. He's already sipping. I don't know what's in it, but it's a styrofoam cup, so it can't be no juicy juice, nigga. Oh, yeah, thanks.
But to answer your question, though, excuse me. The people that I was running with before was just all learning stage people. You know, we go through. I had a manager at that time mainly, and I had another partner that was in a group. Through that, I learned like creative restriction, and you know, when you're in a group, sometimes it's like you pull in the anchor, compromise, you do more work or whatever it may be. But that built me up to be a solo artist.
Okay.
And then at one point, that's how I dropped the Stereotype mixtape.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that came out of my father's basement.
Nice.
Yeah, I recorded that. In my own studio. Learned how to engineer really, and like I said, I played the violin and piano, so I was always producing. So that mixtape, most of the stuff I produced myself. Like in the morning, you was listening to.
Yes.
It sounds rough mixed and shit, you know.
It's fine. Sometimes you gotta leave it like that, so you can really like hear the emotion. Sometimes if you mix it down too much, certain things get taken out of it that are is naturally there.
Yeah, I learned that now. Then I ain't know what I was doing. That's why I came out. But that's a key fact to engineers out there, like simplicity.
Yeah,
like
less is more. Yeah, like these producers, sometimes niggas be doing a bell and a snare, and that shit is banging.
You see,
sometimes niggas be trying to do some Star Trek Pharrell shit, and it's just like, nigga, you missed it. Like,
let him do that.
Nigga, you got horns over here, and you got a trumpet and this shit, you got a guitar for no reason. Nah, you got a fucking person screaming sample. Nah, nigga, too much.
I feel you.
Yeah.
And, that's how I led to Stereotype, and which pretty much set the platform for me to be a solo artist. I got more shows that did well on that Pip.
Yeah,
and that Pip was there at that time, but I don't know what happened to it now. But and then I led that led me into doing the Interlude, which was another embodied project based off of motivation from Michael Jackson's Bad.
Yeah, I can tell. I saw the cover. I was like, this nigga here.
So I ain't no lie. So I keep the man alive. And like,
that's what's up.
You know, and then that just set the stage for me to really find the confidence to go ahead harder and do this. I would say I've been doing it since I was 14, going into the age that I am now. Right? That's like 10 plus years, but I've been doing it the right way for like about 4 years now.
Okay.
So I'm ready to go.
Okay. Now, before we leave off the whole group thing, what can you say to your fans and to also artists? What can you say is the pros and cons to being in a group? Because you just said, yeah, like the cons, like, you know, the compromising and, you know, having to pick up the dead weight and things of that nature. But what are some pros that you can say that, you know, really came through for
one pro I would say is being able to get music done faster.
Yeah.
Because you have somebody there with you, and you know, concepts vibing off of another person is good because your ear is not always good. I learned that. You know, and
second opinions is good.
Yeah, second opinion is always good. But then with a second opinion, what else comes with second opinion? Ego, you know, all that stuff. So you know, it's a balance. But I learned how to deal with people while making music, while being in a group, and that stuck with me because one, you have to be workable in this business.
Very true. Yeah. Which is how you got here. Because you just like, yo, listen, I don't know if I'm going to stay, but nigga, we going to chop it up. I'm Lusive. What up? I was like, all right. Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I try to keep to that, and then I just took that and ran with it. That was the best I could do. But being in the group though, it's like panning everything out and sharing like time and like opinions and trying to balance everything. That sometimes can be too hard. So like that's why a lot of groups don't really do well, and I understood that. So I was good, and I feel like that was a good experience in my career.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel like
shout out to him though. We still cool.
That's what's up.
I'm his baby godfather.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah, it's good that it never like crosses over. Like sometimes the shit becomes a problem where it's like, yo man, I wasn't feeling that person. Alright, well fuck you then, nigga. We ain't gang no more. It's like, damn, nigga. It was just a verse. Like, it's not even your beat, nigga. It was fucking Kanye. But
that's alright.
Yeah. But that's good because I feel like if it wasn't for that situation, I don't think you would be able to be in this position now with your man Chosen here in such a successful way. And I think that's a good segue to bring you in. Chosen, what's up? How you?
What's going on?
Chilling. Alright, I see you enjoying yourself, sipping. Okay,
yeah,
I don't got a cup, but it's cool.
You should've let niggas know that we were doing.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't even be drinking, especially when I'm on. You know, I gotta make sure I'm sober and make sure I give you guys the best interview possible. But yeah, Chosen, how did you and Lusive ever even meet in the first place?
Oh man. Well, we from the same block.
Oh, okay.
Our families been intertwined for a minute, but you know, over the past like 5 years, I would say we became closer. Okay. Going through whatever, became brothers.
So, we got the same name too.
Yeah, we got the same name.
Y'all both Lusive?
My real name.
I'm about to say, like, yo, my name is shows in Lusive. I'm like, oh, that's dope.
For real, we both got the same name.
That's crazy. That's what's up.
That's a fact, and that goes more farther than what it actually is. That goes onto a spiritual level.
Yeah,
as well.
biblical and shit. Yeah.
So, yeah, we just became mad close. You feel me? And he told me he watched me grow up for real. You feel me? Like, and he told me a lot about the music. That's another thing that brought us like really, really close.
Okay, cool.
And everything from like being an artist to behind the scenes that a lot of people don't really get to know or get to experience, you know, coming up as an artist. He told me how to, you know, realize what it really meant.
And he's on the tape.
And I'm on the tape.
Nice.
That was something that, you know, the realism of it is it was something that was that we created a long time ago. Art, like real art.
Right,
Created a long time ago. You know, all of us like growing as artists, you know, seeing that work, we still have the same amount of value and the same amount of appreciation, and like seeing that we can still create that art now, but in a different way with a different mindset. Like, it's really something to really like hold on to at the end of the day, because you know a lot of artists they'll make work back then and they'll forget about it. You can't forget about things like that, you know. So I appreciate that. I appreciate him more than anything.
Definitely.
You dig?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Now, you were saying, you made a statement saying that you're doing things the right way these last 4 years. I definitely, after what you just said, I definitely have to agree with you on that. Because if there's one thing I noticed in the industry, I definitely remember Cash Money doing this, I think, probably the best when I was growing up. When Cash Money came out, it was basically Juvie. He was the front man, but what he did was he slowly but surely introduced everybody. So when he would do a song, the single would feature one of his mans, and then next thing you know, like maybe 3 months later or 2 months later, this nigga drops an album. And that nigga does a single and it introduces somebody else and so on and so forth. Shout out to my nigga Busy. I had him here last week. His first mixtape, he introduced the person. Oh yeah, everybody knows Busy. This nigga. He introduced his the artist that he manages, Scorpio P, and he introduced Millsy as well. I think when you do that,
you just said that he jumped into the live.
Just
that's gonna be great. But go ahead, continue.
That's what's up. That's crazy. That's cool. But I think when you do that, the reason why I think that works so well is because you now create a demand. Depending on the artist, when you introduce somebody, first of all, people are already endorsing who you are. So whoever you co-sign, they're gonna be more inclined to check you out just based off the fact that they're fucking with you already. But then it's up to that person. You put on a good show, you have a good performance, or you have a good verse or something like that. Now it's a demand. It's like, yo, I was really fucking with that Lusive mixtape. That track 4 with that nigga Chosen though. I gotta hear more of that nigga. And then next thing you know, the very next month, the SoundCloud link or that piff. You now create the demand. So with what you said,
creating the demand.
With what you said, you've been moving very well in the last 4 years. I definitely can attest to that. Like, it's little things like that. Artists, anybody listening, watching, it's little things like that that makes a very big difference. So, shout out some kudos to you for that. Sometimes people don't know shit. Like, or sometimes people be doing shit not even realizing how impactful it really is. See, now I need more of that cup. See, we gonna have to fix this. Commercial break, nigga.
He be on one with those.
He's crazy with it. Yeah.
Drop king, bang, 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 bang. There you go. But like you said, I'm definitely like that drop he did. That's with Miko. I did a track with him.
Yeah.
So I've always like my features with people has always been off of relationship. I'm not gonna say like how I pick and choose my features, but I just let them gradually come.
Right.
And if it sounds right, because the music got this first thing that sounds right, I'll do it. And we was able to do that. But that's what I mean by like also moving the right way. You know, knowing your worth, knowing your brand, and actually putting it around the right things that actually attain to your brand. Right. Because that would be a waste of time being around. It's like marketing your music. Like not everybody's gonna like it. True. So you have to get around the right, market for you, or you can find that out to be that. Yeah. So I've learned that over time too. Shout out to the artists to give some little advice on how to get their numbers up. Just stick to your brand and stick true to you. These numbers don't lie though. If you look at the diagrams of your your spins. SoundCloud allows you now to look at where you're getting your spins from. A lot of the distribution sites that you distribute songs to, they allow you to see that. Pay attention to that. That's doing your homework.
Yeah, very true. Now, I'm glad that you brought up Miko, because it's a very, very small world. I'm doing my research, and I'm like, I can sometimes look for a very small second of a person's performance, and depending on where you are, I know what venue you're at.
You done been everywhere, that's why.
Listen, I'll tell you, I'm out in these streets, man. Either I'm platinum, plotting, or I was just out here doing my music shit. But I definitely remember you. Platinum plotting, nigga. Yeah, y'all can have that. I retired. I got my shorty. Shout out to Jenny Fire, she working right now. But I saw you at the Meridian. And I was like, yo, I fucks with that venue. And at first I thought it was for The Pursuit, which is ran by my dude, DJ Mastermind, and yeah, I forgot the other guy's name. It escapes me right now. I apologize. But DJ Mastermind used to DJ for it. At first I thought it was that event, but then I looked down, I was like, wait, Miko Sky release party? I was like, how the fuck? Small ass world. And then Miko Sky, of course, has his show. Shout out to Miko, he just left. Loud Silence and everything like that. So yeah, it's definitely a who's who type of environment. And like I said, the way you've been moving, it works. Because nigga, you here, and then you can very well just be like, all right, next Monday I'm gonna do Miko. Like, yo, nigga, what up?
Right. And I think that's just something that artists should do as far as building a career, wherever they go, whoever they like perform for. Like, get the connection, like really build a relationship, because that's how you start your own tours. Like, really. True. And I'm planning on doing that this summer with the connects that I have now, and building up a tour off of my music and just my performance. That's getting me to the places that I'm at now.
I believe that. I've seen you perform. Speaking of performances, mainstream. I believe we have a certain festival coming up in August that's monumental.
You want me on a mic to say this?
If you want to, I could do it.
Alright, so July 28th goes down at Arizona nightclub. The name of the nightclub is not even important. It's important in the fact that it's called Voices Palooza. It's Voices Palooza first ever summer jam powerhouse South by Southwest for New York. So basically, we spend all day. What make it different is just not the feature of the artist. Of course, they all have to be independent. I'm gonna have vendors there, kids there, and I want to make like a big community event for New York, something that hasn't been really done.
Like
with independent
Hot 97 Summer Jam.
Right. We have independent artists performing throughout the day. We will even have Hot 97 and Power 105 there. That I already know for certain because I was on live with Hip Hop Mike two days ago. Bro, okay.
He's like, I'm doing what I gotta do.
He's gonna say he's mad regular, but
I am
doing mad irregular shit out here.
Regular, but
what's regular is these other stations. I'm just saying though.
That's fact. But there's plenty of time to get into it. July 28th is the event, but by July 1st we're like closing up registration. No more after that. But yeah, it's definitely something I want artists a part of.
That's why I push on.
Alright, there you go. Cool.
Thank you.
Personal way, we get to see Lusive. I get to see this nigga Chosen, see what he got.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be dope. Shout out to that.
Okay, so now, definitely from the interlude cover, like I said, I felt a Michael Jackson inspiration type of vibe. Who else inspires you musically? You said Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac, Sade, inspires me musically. Right now, as far as the independent artists and just like the artists in the game now, I'm inspired by like Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
Just one because he reminds me of myself skinny.
Yeah, like I feel like you're the New York. You're the New York version.
Everybody saying that, Wiz, I get that too, but I'm inspired by him too, which is funny because I was showing my niggas like the other day, I did a show in 2009, and Faces in the Crowd.
Yeah, the Wiz Khalifa, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, homie was on the stage the week after me.
Oh, wow.
Right, so it shows you the grind, it's just like, I've been reaching, it's just somewhere else where you can be seen and way harder, you know what I'm saying? But that shows that I've been grinding, so y'all need to do your homework on some real shit.
Oh, yeah. Yo, listen, man, when you do your homework, it's actually really fun, especially if the artist is good and you get to see the progression. But yeah, it's definitely a good look. Now, Chosen, same question, man. Who's inspired you?
I say who's inspired me. I don't know, as an artist. I say Nas.
Okay. Are you a Queens nigga?
No, I'm the BX. I was born in the BX.
Okay. Just a second. Most Queens niggas immediately, that's the draft.
Nah,
Yeah.
to the day I died, I was born in the BX. So, Nas, I say Biggie, because of the lyrics, the way he was able to put together music was like no other. Who else? I don't know, I don't really look for too much inspiration in other artists, but I try to find it in myself. But, as far as probably the appreciation of music, in a way that it inspired me, I would always have to give it to Michael Jackson for the creativity and the fact that he created his own label, as Lusive said.
Right. True.
Who else? I don't know, that's just about it.
I guess I don't inspire.
That's just about it. Of course he inspires me. Man, you should know that for the jump, bro.
I wanted to hear it. You know that.
That's a fact. If anything, that's my. If anything, Lucius know he's inspired me more than anybody else in this world as far as music. Because Michael Jackson, Nas, Biggie Smalls, they didn't teach me all the stuff I needed to know about music. They wasn't here for me, you feel me?
Right.
So at the end of the day, that's why I said more so the appreciation of the music. Because I can appreciate the music, how I can appreciate his. But, you know, if it really came down to where I was grounded in music or where I, got the drive or any aspect of this music or the industry, it would come from music. That's a fact. And that's something I don't have to say. You should already know that.
It's implied.
For those that don't know, shout out to Lusive because without Lusive, shows it would not be.
Too many
You get it?
That's what's up. But no, I do like what you said though, where you said basically you're inspired by yourself, and it's not a cocky thing, and I respect it because honestly, I've gone through this before too, where you kind of want to get inspired by somebody else, like, yo, that shit was fire, I gotta do something better than that. But then sometimes, unfortunately, especially at this time in hip-hop, you get to like a dead end almost, where it's like everybody is trash. How the fuck? It's not that hard for me to do better than this, so it's not inspiring. So when you're able to have that self-inspiration, that shit you can't put out. So you're gonna always continuously be on the go, be on the drive, because you don't look for anybody like that. And I think that's something everybody should be able to try to do or try to hone in on. Because sometimes you're gonna be trying to look for outer inspiration, and that shit ain't there. So then what?
Right. Where you gonna get it from? True. You dig inside. And that's true too, because as an artist you do go through your ups and downs, like it's life. But having the right people around you do help too. But like bringing you up and being able to keep you level.
More than anything.
Yes.
Now,
More than anything.
speaking of the right people, are we gonna get a reboot of your What's Happening season?
Oh shit, you watched those?
Nigga, yes, I watched everything.
This is what we're doing right now. I got this blog that I'm creating right now called Road to Freedom.
Okay.
So I got a mixtape that's dropping Wednesday called Freedom, and it's basically entitled with Road to Freedom. Everything to that.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. And I think that it's good to show my fans an insight of me that they really didn't get to see. The What's Happening was dope. I went to Greece and I performed out there and was able to record music out there. Yeah, which is how the song Went to Wonderland got on Stereotype.
Okay.
Yeah, I was down out there. Greece is dope too. I found out they get paid only 1 cent. Yeah, facts. Bomb drop.
What? They get paid 1 cent.
Yeah, like hourly rate. They ain't get shit. They don't really get shit. Like if you take what the currency is over there and get it, it's in 1 cent over there.
Shit. Does that have to? Is that because of the whole Brexit thing?
Yeah, and then like the economy. Like when I was there, it was a riot.
Oh shit!
I seen a little bootleg 28th Street. They had the little. They cops wear sweatpants and carry a club. Like who's scared of that?
Oh, what the fuck?
Nobody.
Not even our beat cops do that.
I text that. If y'all out there in Greece, y'all know I'm not lying. Yeah,
that's crazy.
But what's funny is that being there, they either thought I was an artist or a basketball player.
Yeah, you can't just be a regular nigga like this. Like nigga, nah.
This tall nigga was tattooed.
Nigga. You do not work at McDonald's.
Don't nobody here. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Sit your ass down.
Like, let me just cover my fucking white daughter. Let me get out of here. Fuck that.
That's exactly what I was rolling around with.
Facts.
Got the bomb on that.
Alright, so we're getting something similar to what's happening. That's
Yeah,
dope.
so that's it. Road to Freedom right now. Blog will drop tomorrow. The homie edits it quick enough, but he got the flu. He's dying. He's still working.
Gucci! Yo, I fucks with your man.
He's just been standing there, right?
Nah, not even that. I just read his fucking ad.
Yeah, your boyfriend died of bum out.
Shout out to
that too. If you wanna holler and get your boyfriend died of bum hats and gear, holla at my man Free Gucci.
Or if you want the best video shot, you feel me? Shout out to Bushy
Free Gucci.
Entertainment. Very free.
Free Gucci.
Gucci
He's
on
not in jail.
Instagram. And that's with 2 X's, not 2 E's. You dig?
That's what's up. Okay, so now, continuing on with what you were saying, trying to have the fans get to know you on a more personal level, kind of a update to what's happening. You're doing the whole Road to Freedom. Are you going to start doing Elusive Thoughts again?
That started my Twitter. Shout out to that. I was doing that on my, what they call that? What is that? Tumblr.
Oh, yeah.
That's a throwback, right?
Yeah.
I was doing my releases of Elusive Thoughts on Tumblr and using that on Twitter, which built up my fan base like in the beginning. And that was just basically like Twitter for me. Like a thought that I had about how life is. And it's crazy because I stopped that, and now I think it's ever so needed.
Yeah, definitely.
What's going on in society.
Yeah.
And just the trials and tribulations that my generation face. Like I think if I express some of my thoughts, it will be like related.
Very much so.
So I'm about to start that up. Thanks for the idea.
Of course, especially given the type of music you do. It's not too far stretched of an idea for you to do Elusive Thoughts given your music. Now, if you were to tell me Lil Uzi is like, yo, I want to do some Elusive Thoughts, and I want to tell people what I really think, it feels like, nah, that's alright, B. You just keep sipping this lane. Like, I don't think you're just gonna hit me with any gems, nigga. Like, you just, nah.
Well, he going to gems.
He's just gonna be like, yo, man, the Prezi is like 250 G's. It's like, my nigga, we don't need that. You could just put that on a snap.
We don't need that.
We don't. I don't give a fuck. Like, Elusive Thoughts I like because it showed a more personal, more vulnerable side to you, and it gave us your mind without it being on a track. Sometimes people will appreciate your thoughts more without the noise, sometimes, unfortunately, they may think so, of that instrumental. So when they can just hear you clear cut, no chase, they respect that more and they can get to know you better. And then, it's direct. It's like, oh, I comment like, yo, I feel the same way, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, you're very engaged with your audience, so you're going to comment right back. And you're like, oh, shit, this motherfucker respond? Yeah, nigga, like, he's down to earth. He's cool.
So, yeah. And that's perfect because I feel I only am able to express myself through my music. Like, most of the time. And that's what I did with this tape, Freedom. Like, I've been through a lot of shit, like, the past year or two. And, like, I embodied all that in the music. But what you said just now, like, a lot of people don't want to hear shit over sound. It's true, too. Sometimes. Yeah. That's why poetry is poetry. It's true. Do poets. You got poets. And I'm definitely good. Thanks for that advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Back on it. Shouts to my main black guy right here.
Man, this is what I do. Okay, so now, what can you say? What can you say about? What was it? Stereotype? That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
From Stereotype to now Freedom, what can you say is the difference in growth?
That's a good question.
I try, man. I be listening.
What I'm saying, you know what's funny? I'm gonna say I did Stereotype over with Freedom, and if that makes sense, because like when I did Stereotype, I was at a point where I was like real free-minded because of the situation, like just getting out of group and just like I was like doing a lot of research and reading a lot of books and finding out really about like life system and everything. And that's why it sounds that way.
Yeah.
It sounds very lyrical a little bit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
My lyrics is very
concrete jungle shit.
Yeah. So then doing Freedom is basically now I gave my fans personal stuff to it. Not my thoughts on things, it's more of what I went through and put that in. So if that's the growth.
Okay.
The difference. But I think I went back to like the format of making music when I did Stereotype with this, say Freedom. So like so that's the growth. I think that would be the only difference between them. I felt the same way like when I was a kid again doing some of this music.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And I did a lot of music recently too, so it's led me into my album, which I'm not gonna talk about now. That's coming this year too.
Alright, that's what's up. Now, I have to know, what is this track or tracks with Chosen? What are these gonna be about?
You can play out, but I don't think I have the mixtape yet. It's dropping with it, but it's called Square.
Okay.
And that's one like I told you.
You just gonna be dropping mad mathematical bars, my nigga? Yo, it's squared, nigga. I'm the root of this rap shit. I'm a prime nigga. I'm a rhyme nigga. All the time, nigga. Let's go. Yo, listen, man, I tried, man.
It's dope though. I sampled what's that song? Right. You should know the tune.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's a sample of that coming in with like strings and shit. It's very symphonic and orchestra related. But it's called Square because me and him have the same name and we was like two of us on the same track. And we're going back and forth as an intro to lead and open the mixtape.
Nice.
That's the first song. So shout out, if y'all wondering like, yo, that's just voice changing, that's just Lusive. Nah, it's not me by myself. It's my boy Chosen on the mixtape.
Good.
And his name is retarded on Instagram, so I can't even
Listen, if you need to find me on Instagram, all you gotta do is type in Terps and Time. Terps and Time.
Why?
T-R-P-S and T-I-M-E is what we only have left.
What the fuck? Right. It sounds like you made that with the styrofoam cup in your hand. Like,
That's
yo,
all we got.
I'm about to hit these niggas over the head with this one. Because if you say it quick, it sounds like turpins. Listen, man.
That's true.
That's what's up, though. Alright, cool.
Nah, it's gonna be lit though.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So, pretty much that'll be it. So look out for Squared. We get Chosen. And then I got, it's 5 songs only on it. It's an EP, 5 songs just to get my fans back to engage with me.
Right.
The next one, I got a song called Victim on it. I'm shooting a video for it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm shooting a video for it tomorrow. So shout out to anybody that want to come through. I need some female models and
DM for private location.
DM me for the private location. So go to my Instagram. That's Lusive, Frxxdom. And the song I'm shooting a video for is Victim on.
You gonna be a little Italy or some shit?
Nah, right.
Some Soprano type shit? Yeah.
Nah, the funny thing is that the video, the people shooting that video, they came out with a different concept. But I did my research on Victim on, and the inspiration for that song was Money Talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm Victim on Junior. Like, what the fuck, nigga?
Right.
That's what's up. Listen, man. I respect you. You be doing your research. You in 80s baby or 90s? Or
Yeah, I'm that last year in the 80s.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, 80s baby. I'm good.
Alright, that's what's up. Alright, we can smell it. Alright, bet. Going back to your performances, there was definitely one that I made sure I was like, I have to talk about this one because I think that was dope. I forgot the name of where it was, but I know you was in Mount Vernon. I think it was for a charity or something. You had like a little kid with you. I don't know who that little nigga was. I was like, is that his son? Is that his little brother? That's what's up.
My little brother.
Yeah, I didn't want to wish that upon you. Like, nah, nigga, like, chill, B. I'm still pulling out. Don't wish that upon me.
That's one seed planted.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a little man. Shout out to my man Josiah. That's my son's name. He's 9 years old, and he watches me as an artist.
Yeah, that was your hype man for real. He knew your lyrics and shit too. I was like, alright, that's what it is.
Little man.
But I think that was it was like an AIDS thing or something like that.
So I've always tried to help out like communities and like real like cultural events that need to be like addressed. And I got the opportunity to do that through the mayor of I think not the mayor, the council mayor or something like that from Mount Vernon. He invited me out to come perform for an AIDS event. There was old people there too and everything.
That's what's up.
But I was like, I got this one song that is universal called Yin and Yang.
Right.
So I performed that and that always touches.
Yeah, definitely.
I was on the stage.
Yeah. You was there just like, I bet, like, let me know.
Let me know.
That's what's up. Yeah,
Thank you for that, man.
Nah, of course, and I definitely had to make sure that I put that out there because there's nothing better than an artist that has talent but also depth. Any nigga can freestyle, any nigga can make a good song, but off the track, off the mic, what are you doing for your society? What are you doing for the people around you? Are you really talking this conscious shit and then you just go home and just light your spliff and keep it moving? Or are you actually trying to do something about the situation, no matter how little it can be? Something like that, like, you know, it goes along with your whole demeanor. Like, you're an artist, you're performing. But certain things like that, it touches people and it shows that there's more to hip-hop, there's more to you. And it's just a dope look. So little things like that I feel like go a long way. So I just had to make sure I put that out.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course.
And that's good that you said that because that's needed right now.
Definitely.
Hip hop. It's taking a change, don't you think?
Yeah, of course.
Kind of like going back to like, all right, we're not trying to move no more. Like, we try to, let's hear something. Stimulate my mind. Like,
Yeah.
And make me move at the same time.
Right. I think that's why God's Plan is doing so well. At first I listened to the song, I was like, alright.
Yo, I seen it when it had like 100,000 views in a couple hours and it went to like 18 minutes.
Yeah, bro.
Charity fund Drake. Everybody holler at Drake if you need something.
He came out of Miller, walked into a grocery store and paid for everybody.
Not his money, it was the video budget money, they said.
Bro, you know he spent?
Yeah.
He spent he said the budget for it was 900,000.
Yeah, it was like a little bit over that.
A little bit over,
Yeah.
not more than a mil though, right?
Yeah, nah, it didn't touch a mill. It was very close though. Close enough, but shit.
You might as well.
But yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like, you know, you, Nipsey, Drake, y'all are all in that region where y'all can invoke change and still produce dope-ass music at the same time. And I don't want to, and there's a lot of people out there be like, oh, he's just on that conscious shit. Nah. Let's not get it twisted.
You know what's funny?
Because this nigga does some hella lit shit and he'll turn the fuck up in a heartbeat.
So, that song called Hella Lit. But you know what's crazy? I don't even get like any, like, you know, really about life shit. But you say, people talk about that conscious shit, to let you know there's consciousness in everything.
True.
And every single thing, like anything, like from concrete to table, from you, a rock. It's just being able to know yourself, know you exist. Like a rock don't know it exists. But the difference between us being humans and being conscious, we know we exist in this space and what we do and how it affects everything else. Some wisdom is just for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Free your mind, free yourself, free yourself, free land.
Alright, I need the ingredients in that goddamn. These niggas is enlightened over here. Niggas' third eye just popped open like, listen, nigga, everything is conscious, nigga. Like, oh
So don't say
shit.
we on that conscious shit. You can't say that. We on it automatically.
Ooh, bars, nigga. That's what's up.
Right.
Okay, so, what tracks did you send me?
I sent you regularly.
Okay.
So that's, if you have that, you can play. That's the one that was saying that was doing dope. I shot the video to that. I haven't released it yet because I'm very like clean about like what I put out.
Right.
I'm just trying to get that correct.
Okay, no problem.
So video coming soon, the regular. You can go stream that anywhere that you listen to music on, even if you listen to it on a boombox still.
Okay. Mainstream, do we have Regulate queued up? Alright, so you can throw that.
Alright. Yo, we live with Darkside Radio, your boy Lusive, Chosen, about to jump to that Regulate.
Yeah.
Jack, stand up. Free land.
Make sure this shit's still recording. Alright, we good?
Good look, Johnny.
Alright. Fuck that.
That's my fault.
Well,
That's the instrumental.
I faded out on the other side.
I think he had the instrumental. I was like,
nigga, we ain't freestyling.
version.
Safe. 5 fingers of death?
Yeah, so what's the version? We can get it.
Nah, I'm not Southside. Yeah, I forget, like, niggas don't fuck with 50 no more, so I can't just say Southside no more.
He's the only one that makes niggas weird, brother.
Yeah, that's a fact.
more days, but that's gonna last over. Sorry to say, but I'm like this month every day. I'm with it.
She just want the leg. And I be down, I'm hella lit. Now that she is down for me, open up that wood and roll it down for me. Say that
Play the Frxxdom too, or
yeah, that pussy back cause these hoes don't be getting half of me. If your man gon' ask who I be made better. Keep rolling. I'm all about my check and keys open. Got the time so open. Up in the club, keys open. Every city that I'm in, I know somebody. Couple that I'm with, know how to body. Know some niggas with the shit. Got some body. Get their money. The way Instagram goes there, like people come in and see every time they do it, we're real estate.
Nah, you good? Fuck that. You already know we don't give a fuck here. Black of the Rebel, Dark Side Radio, chilling with Lusive, chilling with Chosen. You just heard Regulate. Nice poppin' joint. One thing I have to say from that song, that is very true. Like I said, I can attest to. You said everywhere you go, you know somebody. Or every state you go.
Yeah, every city that I may not know somebody.
Nigga, how many fucking performances have I seen? You did some shit in Mount Vernon. You was in fucking ATL. You did Baltimore. Yeah, I saw that. That's how the Country Jungle shit, I'm sure, got started. So yeah, like that. I love when niggas talk that real shit. Like, they can act like you actually about that shit.
Yeah, back it up, man. I walk it, talk it, and I stand by it.
Walk it, talk it. That's what it is. That's what's up. Now, while we was listening to this dope track, y'all wasn't hearing all the audio and crazy shit we was talking about. We was talking about the whole Black Panther get up. Now, I'm gonna have to put y'all on and shit, because this wasn't some shit that I just saw and I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this. Okay. A few years ago, I used to teach at my old junior high school. Shout outs to IS8 in Southside Jamaica, Queens. A lot of good years there teaching.
Good basketball.
Oh yeah, facts.
I watched over that was young, right?
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of basketball, I think me and Mainstream got some things we might have to discuss to set up. But that's another time for another time. But yeah, there was a year when we had to do a Black History performance, and everybody knew me as the rapper because I taught hip hop as well as technology. So I wanted to make sure I did something special. Everybody's dressing up as somebody from Black History. I felt like we had to take it back to a more military, more disciplined time. So shout outs to Huey P. Newton, shout outs to Bobby Seale, shout outs to Fred Hampton, shout outs to Fred Hutton, shout outs to Angela Davis. Black Panther Party started in 1966.
Stokely Carmichael.
Ooh, nice. See, I fucks with you. Okay, you do your research. Okay, yes, definitely.
I was waiting for you to say somebody that. Yeah, I was like,
yeah. It's a whole laundry list of names. But yeah, started in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, 1966. Unfortunately, they disbanded in 1982. And in that time, they definitely did as much as they could to better influence their communities. One of their more notable things that they did was the free breakfast program, which unfortunately was like shut down by fucking KKK and J. Edgar Hoover because they were like the biggest threat to America. His actual words saying that. So unfortunately, like, you know, a lot of things happened in-house, like, you know, they got corrupted and they threw drugs into everything, a lot of attempted murders and things of that nature. But they were probably the biggest movement that Black history has ever seen in America. So definitely, if you don't know anything about them, definitely do your research.
Right.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that they stood by was their 10-point program, which honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, nigga, that shit should be a 20-point program. The 10-point program. The first 10 was the things that they said that they wanted right now. They wanted, like,
Demanded it.
Yeah, they demanded, like, decent housing for human beings, because at that time niggas was living damn near on some homeless shit. They wanted to be tried if they're in court by a jury of their peers. Of this, I live in I live in Compton, and you got motherfuckers in Beverly Hills judging me. How the fuck do you? Yeah, how do you know my plight? Things of that nature. So that was the first point of the first part of the 10-point program. The second part was what they believe in, like their ideals, their ideologies, and things of that nature. So it's a very deep story. They have the movie. They did a movie on it, loosely based. That was dope. Your man, I forgot your man's name, but he did. He's a light-skinned, bald-headed dude. I mean, like he got he got like a 5 head. Matter of fact, he was your man's in All About the Benjamins. The nigga, he was like, you don't got a 4 head, you got a 5 head. That
nigga is that?
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps? It wasn't Mike Epps. The 5 head dude. He did
I don't know who that was.
He did a one-man play portraying Huey Newton after the whole situation.
It's a play?
It was a one-man play where he just sat there for like 2 hours and gave this crazy prophetic performance by himself. And he had like a bunch of, I think, original pieces that Huey wrote himself. It was awesome. So you guys have the time. It's Black History Month. We still got a few days left. But Black History is every day. But this time more so than any time, y'all definitely should research that and check it out. I had a lot of fun researching this shit. It made me feel good. Like, nigga, we hold shit down. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga, we mobilize together. Nigga, gang. Nigga, like, official you thought white niggas was holding their daughters away because these niggas was in Greece. Nigga, we get on top. Nigga, it's a rap. Fuck that. Fuck is you saying? You heard? But the reason why that whole thing transpired during the music break was because he asked me, like, yo, did you see the Black Panther movie? And that's why, yeah, please
the full outfit of Black Panther when he spoke about now, not the Black Panther Marvel outfit.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
Full Black Panther outfit.
Yeah, right. But I was like, fuck it, I wore this shit to the fucking movies too.
Yeah, somebody told me to see it in Harlem and they had the whole dashiki stand.
Oh, that's what's up.
In the theater though.
Nah, but the whole
not outside.
You should have seen the way we've been pulling up for that Black Panther.
Yo, I respect
the way some people were pulling up for that Black Panther.
Real
culture.
Did y'all see it yet?
Yeah, I seen it. Culture. Alright, I seen it. It's not the greatest Marvel movie, I'ma say, but like that, what the messages. Finally, Marvel always put messages inside, like world messages, but this was something that was very distinct.
Right.
And everybody remembers B. Jordan's last line talking
about,
hell
yeah,
which was a very strong line because that's freelance right there. That's freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my brand, and that's why I state that because when you hear things like that, it really makes you aware. It's like open up your third eye. Like you're like,
definitely.
Damn, there's something I'm not knowing, but there's something that's missing about my history.
Yeah.
So, we all have something missing in our history.
Yeah.
I think that movie is stimulating people to start doing research. And it's a great thing about, it's a great movie for our kids that's coming up because they get to see black people in the right way.
Yeah, no more this fucking 12 years of slave shit, this fucking roots. Your name is Toby, no more The Wire. God damn it.
They got this new thing, The Shy.
Nah, The Shy's dope.
I haven't seen it because I show it on.
Yeah, it's on Stars.
Stars?
Yeah.
People talking about, a couple of my people talking about it. I'm like, what is that? Is it a new Wire?
Nah, yo, shout out to my mom, man. She put me onto that shit. Yeah. I was very surprised. Yeah, my mom was like, oh yeah, your man Common's in it, blah, blah, blah. It's a really good one.
Is that right?
Yeah. You don't see him till later on. He's not on some 50 Cent shit.
They don't have a whole bunch of, actors that we know.
Nah, all these niggas is new as fuck. Like, I was like, who the fuck is these niggas? But it's a dope show. It's a very good show. Like, yeah, it deals with shit that's in the hood, but it's not like your typical hood shit. It's like you have your average Joe who happens to be in the hood, and he's dealing with,
just so happens to deal with the situation.
Yeah,
he's dealing with hood shit.
Yeah, but you have to deal with hood shit, but at the same time, you work a 9 to 5. You're not really about that life. It's very real. You have people from all different walks of life in it, and it just shows all different perspectives of the hood. Like, not everybody is gang. Not everybody is Cardi B stripping. Like, not everybody is on some different shit. So, it's a good show. So, shouts to the whole black movement right now, nigga. Like, we doing a lot of good shit right now. We got a Freedom mixtape dropping. We got Chosen being introduced on the shit. We got fucking Black Panther busting ass 700 million in the first fucking 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
We're about to hit a Billy. We got fucking the shot.
That's the culture. We're doing it for the culture. That's real for the culture.
Now, speaking of the culture, now, seeing how outspoken you are with trying to invoke change and inspire people, if you had the power and the resources or the money or whatever it is you needed, what would you do to better either your environment or just in this entire world?
Yo, that's funny. Once you say that, the first thing come to my mind, I would better water. Like the water around us is essential.
Shout out to Detroit.
But yeah, that's a prime example.
Nigga,
right
their
there.
water looks like my skin color, nigga. That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
Nigga,
I don't want to laugh. You're stupid.
Nigga, that water, you talking about tap water, nigga. That shit is tap dancing, nigga. That shit is Sammy Davis Jr. in this motherfucker.
Right on the way. Nah, but definitely water is that's the reason why we get sick. We don't drink enough water. Like,
true.
Then when
you
you
know
do
what I'm
drink the water,
it's not right. It got fluoride in it or whatever.
Yeah, motherfucker be getting mutated, looking like the Simpsons, got 3-eyed fish and shit.
Right. Getting more parched, lips getting more dry. Like, what's going on?
Nigga be looking like
Sprite.
Nigga be looking like Ashley Larry and shit.
But yeah, if I could, that would be the first thing, and then I would attack the 4 things. I read this book called Empire of Illusion, and shout out to damn, I can't think of the author of that. But if anybody wanted to read something real quick, Empire of Illusion, it covers the 4 things: education, the military, just medical, like and stuff, and then it's another thing. But like I said, medication, military, and schooling. How each of these 4 things are main factors by how they're manipulated in the world, especially in the United States.
Oh, of course.
So those are the things that I would try to approach. I would approach medical. I would approach like the education system. This is after war, right? And just like try to help in a way that like put centers. How can I help education put centers? We don't have like centers that kids can go to after school. That's outside of the school that can continue their education. That's why they go home and play a game.
Or trap.
Or trap. Or do, you know what I'm saying? Or something else. Whatever it may be. It's not like continuing stimulating the mind.
Right.
And that I think we need that. I'm the last generation of having that, I feel like.
Yeah. You nigga, we really are. This shit is sad.
Like school.
Oh my god. Now, Chosen, the same question. And the reason why I have to give you the same question is because I feel like with such a prolific name as Chosen, I feel like you're chosen, but for what? Like, what are you chosen to do? And I just feel like if you're rolling with somebody like him, I feel like great minds think alike. I feel like you have it in you to invoke a lot of change for the better as well. So what would you do?
Well, with that money?
With the money, with the resources, the opportunity, yeah.
Things that I would want to do? Well, I mean, of course I feel like I gotta live up to the name I chose. But that was something that came to me at heart.
Okay.
I feel like I would try to help those that are at a disadvantage before anything,
Right.
Water is very important.
Yeah,
but I feel like those that can't put no clothes on their back, or people that can't walk on the ground without no shoes, they deserve at least for one day in life to feel like what it means to have like something.
Yeah.
Blessed how we are, so I would go for that. 1. 2, I would probably focus on my inner family most of all. People that I feel like always kept it real with me.
Yeah.
Because with those assets, with a team, you can help more.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you can never do anything like that.
Very true.
I feel like the reason I chose Chosen was because, a lot of people could say they're chosen, but, at the end of the day, everybody's trying to be different. Everybody's trying to live up to their own lane, trying to do whatever they can just to remain them. I think it all comes down to the fact that it matters just staying true.
To build that probably is also I wanna build like hotels. I have a goal to have a couple hotels, not just in America, like overseas and stuff like that.
Okay.
And to be able to have stay for people that can turn, not, you know, it's like paid stay, but I'm gonna use that money to turn into actually having like gated communities and building that up.
That's what's up.
His money is in property, but it's like doing it the right way. I'm not gonna be in it just to be in it.
Right.
I really want to house people.
Oh, that's what's up. I respect that.
And I see myself doing that 5 years and still being able to do music as an old nigga or whatever. 5 years ain't gonna be old. So,
Nah, not at all. Not at least.
I want another kid though. So
Okay.
definitely have that. And pretty much more closer to God. Every year growing, you know, 5 years later, you're not the same person that I would be in the seat today. So I'm growing closer to God.
That's a very dope answer. And you talk about, I've said it numerous times. We spoke about it numerous times through this interview about, doing good for the people around you and doing good for communities. How, you can't put a price on how good it is to be able to provide a hotel experience. There's gonna be so many people losing their virginity thanks to you, my nigga. Thanks. Yo, so many cheeks is getting clapped thanks to this nigga Lusive, and he ain't even gotta be there. That's wingman of the century, nigga. What the fuck? What you know about it? And he got you with clean water in the shower. What you know about it?
Look good. Cause I know girls, everything.
Yeah. So after the whole decor is gonna be on point, yo, that's what's up.
Hopefully, right? Because they don't make no baby music. I don't make the baby music, so I'll provide the space.
Right. The elusive
The
end.
music, right?
Elusive. You got that. You can have that.
And that's the ends. We didn't even get to the hotel. That's the ends.
Listen, that's the ends, but hopefully y'all pull out. But listen, man, that's not for real. Honestly, in all seriousness, that was a very dope, very mature answer because usually, and there's nothing wrong with this, but usually people say, they want their project to be here, they want their career to be here, they want to be touring or doing things like that. I've never asked that question and somebody responded, I want to be closer to God. That's very big and very mature of you, and it sounds like you really do know yourself and you know what you need in order to become better and become more. So I definitely respect you for that.
Appreciate that, man.
Chosen, same question, man. Where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now, both in the music world and just in general?
3 to 5 years from now, I see myself as far as the music, with a good selection of solid singles out.
Okay.
That people can, hear and understand who I am and what I've been through.
Right.
I'm dropping my album soon, so with that being said, I want people to understand me on a spiritual level. So as far as, being closer to God, I want to be a little bit more spiritual as well, and I want that to flow through my music and everything that I feel because I feel like music is one of the biggest things part of me.
Definitely.
Outside of the music, I want to start a clothing line for my father. Rest in peace for me.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that.
A couple days ago.
Oh, wow. I'm very sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Lusive gave me this idea. I want to start a clothing line for my father to stick with me forever. You feel me? My brother actually, he thought of the idea, but in 5 years, I really want it to be flowing. It's going to be called Tommy Lee. You feel me? And I really want that to be grown. I want it to be planted in whether it's designer, whether it's regular sports clothes, whether it's whatever. I want it to really embody his spirit, and really start up as something wholesome with the essence that, carry on the legacy. So I figured I'd do that. Over the years, that's where I really see myself as far as years. Okay. But also doing music and maintaining because that's what I love, doing music.
Right.
And I think with this album that I'm about to drop, I'm not even gonna say that, but it's gonna definitely it's gonna be monumental.
That's what's up, man.
It's gonna be monumental.
That's what's up. I respect that. Once again, I'm sorry to hear about your father. I can't imagine what it would be like without my father passing. So with that being,
I have my father.
Yeah, I still have mine.
Lost him though.
So with that being said, I really respect that you're trying to keep his legacy alive through your clothing and things of that nature. Dark Side Radio, you heard it here first. Anytime we do an event, I will definitely let you know so you can you can have your own table and you can start selling your merchandise, things of that nature. Send me any pieces of clothing that you want or whatever, and I'll wear it here for the episodes. and I wear it for public appearances and things of that nature to try to help out as much as possible.
That's facts, doing it.
Of course, man, definitely. Yeah, of course. It's almost about that time. So at this time, we're gonna just say, where can we find you? Where can we find your music? And any last words, any shout outs, any things like that?
Alright, yo, y'all been rocking with your boy Lusive. I got the Frxxdom tape, which is the main thing right now, dropping Wednesday. That's 2/28/18, last month of Black History Month, and I'm dropping it for Black History Month. So y'all can check that out. It's gonna be on SoundCloud. It's gonna be on Spotify, iTunes. Just search Lusive, Lusive, to stream the music. If you want to follow me on social media, Instagram is Frxxlusive. That's FRXXLUSIVE. Website is lusivemusic.com, but it is not up right now because it is being reconstructed.
Yeah. Yo, trust me, it happens, man. It happens.
So the other two plugs before the website, y'all can check me out. Remember, it's Lusive, Lusive, and it's freelance, nigga.
Okay. Chosen, you too?
You know who it is. It's Chosen.
Oh, nah, yeah. Your turpentine shit, nigga.
You know who it is. You've been rocking with Chosen. You want to find me on Instagram, we go for Terps and Time. That's TERPS and TIME, which is all we have left. Time. Hey, check it out. Niggas gotta look out for my I say mixtape now. It's coming out March 10th, 2018. It's called The Last of Me. Can we come get who I am? Yeah.
That's what's up. Yo, this is what I'm talking about. Proper rollout. Your joint drops the last day of Black History Month, February, and then not even a whole 2 weeks later, you got your man's project. I fucking respect that. That shit is dope. So, okay.
I'm doing it.
You know me. Twitter, Blackout DA Rebel. Facebook, Blackout the Rebel. Instagram is BLK Out the Rebel. Darkside Radio Bookings at gmail.com if you guys. Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Shout out. Darkside Radio Bookings at gmail.com if you guys want to talk about anything that's business related. You want to get on the show. We can come to you and do videos like that. Shouts to Rome. I did the same thing with him. He's from the BX actually.
Oh, Rome? Reem or Rome?
Nah, it's Rome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nah, he's all over, but he's in the Bronx I think right now. But yeah, Darkside Radio is the Twitter. No, Darkside Radio, sorry. Darkside Radio _ is the Twitter. Darkside Radio is the Instagram. Darkside Radio is the Facebook. Darkside Radio is the YouTube. Darkside Radio is the SoundCloud. DarksideRadioNYC.com is the official website where you can see this episode as well as previous episodes. I'm Blackout the Rebel once again. We will see you motherfuckers next week. Love, peace, and motherfucking soul. Black Panthers up.
Oh yeah, shout out my boy, your boy from Got a Bum. If you need that gear, your boy from Got a Bum out here.
Oh yeah. If your boyfriend's a bum, we got clothing.
Hey, your boyfriend's a bum.
Yeah, we got clothing to help you. Okay. Black Up the Road, we out, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all niggas next week. Good.
Oh, you got Victim Mode.
Yeah.
This is that.
They gotta watch the moves you make.
Okay.
And we make them with it. You know?
I was gonna tell him not to play it, but it's all good. Shit.
Yeah.
You need to get a picture behind it.
Yeah. I stand on my own, get mine all alone. Oh, you smell like strong, that's that weed cologne.
I'm trying to make a video of your ass, but it wasn't working.
Eat Italian, call that victim on. I stand on my own, get mine all alone. Oh, you smell like strong, that's that weed cologne. I stand on my own, get mine all alone. Eat Italian, call me victim on. Wake up in the morning, get right to the loan. Blue faces that's strong, make that money long. Make that piece of pie, oh that shit is on, no. Cut that shit in half, get slices to all my bro. I can't lie, try to keep my niggas motivated. I look them in the eyes and I can tell them what's faking. I about to never let the money make me, I'ma make it. The truth really comes out when money enters the equation. Get your bags up, play the game when all the bets. Hit the whole world, take all my family on vacation. I done came up, trapping up my father's basement. I came up, OGs that defeated cases. They told me how to move, and then my mom said, fuck them niggas, make them believe wherever you going, and I fucked up.
I was supposed to register for that show in July. Huh? You want to register for that show in July?
Oh, what's the I'm negative in my account right now. Yeah, don't worry. Fuck it.
Shorty always mad cause I don't come back till the morning. Always on my back, damn it. Nigga tryna go, I ain't never had no head. Nigga stuck the head.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
That little job wasn't enough, bitch. I need a bigger amount. Clocking for a couple dollars, about to sell me a knife. Running even in the drive. Yeah, that pizza on the table with that lobster in it. Heavy promise, y'all remember when my pasta was on the road. Take a seat, we got more bones. This nigga's offering advice. We don't want it. Took that till it's gone.
Cause we got more.
All the money talks, that's my uncle Victor Mine. I stay on my own, get mine all alone. Oh, you slide strong, that's that we go.
I'm gonna send you an email and give all the breakdowns and everything. You know your invoice, right?
Wait, alright, making sure. I go to end live video, right? Alright.